Hi, Christy. It's Chad from Care Agility. How are you doing today?
Good, and you?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for asking. Well, today I just wanted to ask you a few questions about your guys' current telehealth systems, as well as go over a brief presentation about some of our current systems and products. Does that sound fair enough?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Well, I'm just going to start off by asking, how does your telehealth equipment support your current system?
So Vice Health requires us to use our own computers.
Okay, and did you guys ever run into any problems with your computers?
Yeah, they were constantly crashing on us.
Okay, and how does the performance of your computers, how did it affect the other nurses?
They were constantly stressed, and we always had to call tech support.
Okay. If you had brand new equipment with cloud-based servers, don't you think that would help reduce the stress of the nurses as well as not having to deal with, tech support always coming in and out?
Yeah, that would take a lot off their plate.
Okay. And are there any problems you guys run into regularly with the equipment that you're using?
We had so many problems with our current equipment that it ended up in storage.
And what were the specific problems that would occur?
It would constantly lose service and disconnect to our computers.
Okay. And did that ever back up patients' appointments?
Yeah, it was a huge hassle and constantly made us delay appointments. It became such an issue that we threw them in storage.
Okay. Do you think that if you had new equipment that did not crash on you, it would keep you guys on schedule as well as not having to waste storage?
Yeah, I could see the possibility of saving some time and money.
Okay, great. And what have you guys used as a current solution for that equipment that was in storage?
So we actually purchased baby monitors off of Amazon.
Okay, and have there been any problems with those baby monitors?
We seem to have problems when there's two or more on the same floor.
Okay, did that ever become a potential risk hazard for patients?
Yeah, we actually had a patient last week almost escape because the baby monitors weren't working.
Okay, if you had equipment that did not have as much liability as the baby monitors, don't you think that would ensure more safety for certain patients?
Yeah, it would for sure help us keep tabs on our patients and make sure that they stay safe.
Okay, now Christy, how long did it take for your current vendors to show up when there was problems and you guys needed tech support to come out?
So when we were using the equipment, normally it took around 3 hours for them to show up on site, but then they also only worked during business hours.
And how did that affect the downtime of the hospital?
We actually ended up pushing up at least 5 patients' appointments until the next day.
Okay. Did that ever affect the patient's satisfaction with the hospital?
Yeah, they were constantly complaining, and corporate actually had to talk to us about it.
Okay. Don't you think that if you had 24-hour phone, email, and web support, you would be able to keep your patients' appointments on schedule and happy?
Yeah, that would definitely help keep the appointments for their patients on schedule.
Okay. I'm just going to go over a brief overview of the company. We have over 30 years of proven audio slash video integration in the industry. We were founded in 1990 as a Digitech, and we spun off into Care Agility and focused on telehealth equipment back in 2017. You can trust us because your competitors do, as we're currently used in over 230 health systems, and we are successful in our industry, which we have over 300% growth. Some of the problems that you stated earlier, as I heard, were that the hospitals had to supply their own computers with Visa Health, and your guys' computers were constantly crashing, and that Visa Health provided extremely poor tech support as they were only available during business hours, and that local support equipment, the Visa Health, sits in storage space. And so I figured out that you guys had to purchase baby monitors from Amazon and that you guys had a lot of difficulties when there were more than two on the same floor. Now, some of the benefits that my company could provide is that our devices are designed to be ready to deploy when they arrive right at your guys' door. There's no startup or special support needed. And we also have 3 global support centers for 24/7 support, whether that's through phone, email, and web chat. And our devices use current infrastructure, so there's no need for new computers. We also have various configurations and devices with different prices to fit your guys' best needs. And there's also no need for local hardware as we are a cloud computing, or we run off of cloud computing software. And the software cost is also included with the devices, and so there's no additional fees yearly or monthly. It's all that you have to pay for is the cost of the devices. As we can see here, a little bit of some of the different pricing for our different devices. We broke it up into carts and the big wall units. Our carts are $1,000 a piece, So if you were purchasing 20, that'd be 20,000. And our big wall units are around $2,500 a piece. So that would bring you to a grand total of 50,000. And now the timeline for our orders to arrive at your doorstep and to go live is it takes a week for them to arrive at your door, and it only takes 1 day for them to get set up and go live. So just to wrap up, we are more reliable than the baby monitors that you guys are currently using. You guys do not have to provide your own computers with our equipment, and we all are also a leader in the industry. The top 230 health systems use us, as I stated earlier, and we have guaranteed 24/7 tech support, and the installation is included in our purchase. So, what would you say that we signed today?
So we have a temporary solution right now that isn't perfect, but it's getting us through.
So you're saying that that solution is getting you through at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you stated in the past that the devices interfere and don't work if they were on the same floor, and people could get injured or have a fall risk if that would happen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any more questions or concerns that you might have?
Well, as I mentioned, I will need the CEO to approve, but he's not really sold on the solution yet.
Okay, so you need the CEO to sign off before you can go forward with the solution. Okay, well, I get that a lot. I understand that it all has to go through the upper chain of command. But how about this? Why don't we get him on the phone and find out what he needs to see? We can provide him for all of the data for his questions, and we can have him speak to one of our several CEOs from the larger health systems that we have used our products in the past.
Yeah, we just don't want to have the same problems we had with Visa Health. We spent a lot of money on their equipment, and it's currently just sitting in the storage.
Yeah, so you don't want to get burned in the past like you did with them.
Yeah.
I completely understand. A lot of my customers in the past have had the same experience with getting burned with past providers of telehealth equipment. But as I stated, we have around-the-clock support, which, as you stated earlier, was one of the promises that they made to you, but they never were able to go through on, as they were only open during business hours. And we offer global support without you ever having to touch the equipment at all. It's all digital. And how about this? Why don't we call our tech support number and see if they answer?
Sounds good.
Okay. Would you now be more comfortable with signing with us today?
I think so, yeah.
That sounds great, Christy. I look forward to hearing from you.
Me too.